SK Mac here. How's everyone doing this evening? I hope well. I pray well. I'm a tech person. Um, I have an interest in technology, but I know that it can go either way. It can go in a negative way, and it can go in a positive way. Over the past years, there's been major advancements in technology. And, I do often talk about it because, I work in the field and I have observed some pretty eye-opening things, to say the least. Science and technology, really, they are working together in these days. They're working pretty hand to hand, and they're bringing about some pretty bizarre anomalies. There's this strange utopian-like direction that we're kind of being driven into. And if you're not paying attention, you might just miss the slow poison that you're being sold on. The other day I saw an article, and it was saying that cells are basically computers, right? That they send and receive inputs and outputs accordingly. That if you chug a caramel macchiato, your blood supply, your blood sugar, it spikes, and your pancreatic cells, they get the message to output more insulin, right? So basically what these scientists and tech geeks, and whatever else you want to call them, are trying, what they're trying to do is transform our cells into tiny computers. Well, I don't want to say trying to, that's what they really want to do. So basically what we have here is they're trying to make the human 2.0, and I've spoken about this before, they want to do this by incorporating their programmatic language into the human body. Basically downloading it. They want to take people's codes, their genetic codes, actually code their genetic. If anybody knows about coding, they'll understand how that comes into play when it comes to making programs for your computer. So what they want to do is they want people to code their genetics, altering their our DNA. And this really has been their agenda for like the longest time. And like I said in previous videos, speaking on all these movies that are kind of spoilers or precursors as to what's to come, like The Matrix, it kind of alluded to this this kind of unplugging from a certain system. It was almost like as if it was a warning. And there's so many illusions there. And I'm saying illusions, not illusions, because I'm trying to express to you an indirect kind of passing reference. And then we've got this new movie out that's called Ghost in the Shell. And I've spoken about this too, where a woman is killed and her soul is basically downloaded into this like organic machine body. So right now what's happening with the world, what's happening with technology, is that it isn't something that's going to come 30 or 40 years. It's happening right now. The other day I saw a sign, it was posted up on social media, and I reposted it, and it said, "Get your implant now." And on the very bottom in small print it read, "Upgrading people." So basically what they're saying is, get used to seeing this. They have it all in your face. Basically we can get an upgrade every year, like we're an Android or an Apple phone. And speaking of Android, do you remember all the commercials they used to do when Android first came out? And you kind of saw these humans kind of merging with the machine, this cyborg in all these commercials. We already see businesses using this technology, and those employed by those businesses that actually take this technology in them. They're chipped, and they really don't seem to be the least bit bothered. And what I think the biggest catchphrase is going to be is convenience. There's a company not too far from where I live that has actually employed these technologies. They've chipped their employees, starting with their management, and they all seem to be fine about it. They see it as a way to be accessible to the things in the office, and They can just swipe their hand against the door to open the door. They can pay for their lunch in the lunchroom that they have, and it's all just in the name of convenience, and it's easy. What makes me so exasperated is why anybody would want to implant anything in their body. Why would you want to do that? Why would you have a need to want to do something like that? What's so bad about a key card, and swiping that? You have to have it inside of your body, It's just, it's too much. It's far too much. And, this is part of their 2030 agenda, which is happening live right now, folks. And what they're also wanting to do is this thing called cellular computing. And it's more than just a convenient metaphor. For the last couple of decades, biologists have actually been effortlessly hacking human cells, the human cell and their algorithm. So in an effort to control their processes and basically control us, so I think what they call themselves is, I suppose, a bending nature's role as a life software engineer. A little by little, multiplicatively editing the cell's algorithm, its DNA over generations, and researchers are programming human cells to obey like 197 sets of instructions. Like I said, if this doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. We're living in the times like no other that the scriptures spoke about. Every day people are getting more and more heartless. People aren't caring about each other. We're seeing all these crazy things that's happening in the world over. Science has created a way for humans to control the natural processes of our bodies. And of course this is just a small step, because just imagine how many cells are actually in your body. And what they're really working on is bringing computers down to the size of blood cells. But they really kind of already have that with the nanotechnology. Again, I believe the biggest weapon against people will be all in the name of convenience. In bringing about these tiny computers, their man-made cells will execute these instructions through proteins called DNA, just like the real deal. Recumbences, which cut, reshuffle, or fuse segments of the DNA, and these proteins then reorganize and they rearrange and they target certain positions on a DNA strand. And researchers figured out how to kind of retrain or trigger their activity virtually, controlling our physical cells in our own bodies. So depending on whether their recumbence gets triggered, the cell may or may not produce the protein encoder in the DNA segment. What they're doing is they're learning how to control DNA. They're playing creator. This is what is happening is the fourth industrial revolution. It's here. And buddy, it's about to get really, really crazy. And it's definitely going to take some souls along with it. So do you see where I'm going with this? I can't really get any clearer than this. It's they have this kind of thing in mind, this utopian society, a militarized police state, mind control. We'll be basically like a bunch of robots working in a factory. And, there's also been a major investment opportunity on the lives of American citizens. Civil unrest is just a part of the plan, and they are heavily prepared for it. Not only that, we are continually seeing volcanoes erupt, earthquakes, various storms in different places, crazy weather patterns, an uprising of demonic activity. And not only that, but everything that you own is up for sale. Everything about your personal lives, from your browsing history to your financial records, etc. You name it. It's being sold between major corporations to make a gain off of you. Not only that, but things are just heating up every day between Russia and the U.S., North Korea and the U.S., and a Cold War with China possibly, and we know that China pretty much owns America. We're looking at a potential nuclear set-off in September. That's where we're headed. There's certainly a stirring of the pot going on. Massive drills are being set for September as well, by Russia and NATO. And we have John McCain taking these low blows at Kim Jong-un, knowing that the man is not stable, and seems like any such thing would just set him off. This is looking like the craziest plot twist to the most horrible crazy B movie. Right now, I think that we need to start getting ready for what's about to come and to pray that we are accounted worthy to escape it. May Yahuwah be with you.